You need to be making smaller projects. You probably already heard that advice before. I had heard it before, but I was doing it completely wrong. So, this is some advice that I wish I'd heard a couple years ago that would have really helped me out. This is just one perspective, so take it with a grain of salt. But if you're the kind of person that I am, where you start a lot of projects and don't finish most or all of them, then hopefully this video is going to give you some value. The biggest mistake that I made when I tried to do small projects is that I associated small with low quality, or thought that I could make small projects by reducing the quality. And this is not what you want to do at all. Do not do that. You want your small projects to be just as good, if not better, than how you want your big projects to be. Because you need to be able to make a small good thing before you can make a big good thing. It seems pretty obvious that you would need to be able to make a good short film before you can make a good movie, but there's a trap that I fell into where I kept thinking that if I had more time, I'd be able to make something better. That is just not true. It's really easy to fall into that trap with game development because you think more features will make the game more fun, but that's just not how it works. Time only allows you to do more of what you can already do. So if you can't do something good, time is just going to allow you to do more bad stuff. Another reason why you can't sacrifice quality when you're making small projects is that you need to work on all parts of the project like how you would be working on it when it's a big project. Now, if you lower the quality of your small projects, then you will subconsciously work on the parts that you're good at and not on the parts that you're bad at. Now, this is going to be a really big problem when you try to do a big version and increase the quality, because you'll realize that although maybe you can do high quality stuff with a lot of time, it's not going to work well for you and it's not going to be fun. You're going to burn out very quickly, and you're going to be working very inefficiently. Low quality, by the way, is completely fine. Quality might not be the best word for this, but I just mean stuff like, if you are bad at art, then you can do pixel art or low poly stuff or stickmen. Most of the value is in the idea itself. So if you lower the quality like that by making it easier for you to do it, then the big version does also need to be that same quality, because more time might allow you to make that stuff better, but it's not going to let you make it better efficiently in a way that scales over a big project. If you're familiar with the concept of a vertical slice, it's essentially a piece of the project that is representative of the whole. It's like if you took the first level of a video game, or, a short film to a movie, or a short story to a book. It's supposed to be of the same quality as that big thing, and is essentially just saying, the big version will be more of this. You want to be making vertical slices. Even if you don't have a big version of the project in mind, a vertical slice is the right way to approach these smaller projects and is going to get you into the right headspace to make a bigger version without it having any unexpected hang-ups. Now, I'm just going to give a couple miscellaneous tips before I talk about success, because some people might want to skip that part if they're just doing it for themselves. But tip number one is to start on the parts that you're bad at. If you start on the parts that you're good at, you're going to subconsciously increase the quality a bit. And then when you start to work on the parts that you're bad at, it's going to be really disappointing and you'll feel overwhelmed and probably burn yourself out. So start on the parts that you're bad at, and you can set a bit of a quality standard there and know what's achievable for you. The second tip is to experiment with these small projects. They're a chance to learn and a chance to grow, and you should definitely take that, because experimenting, especially experimenting intentionally and thinking about like, what if I change this? What if I do it this way? Is really going to help you learn a lot faster than you would with big projects, or if you're just like doing the same small projects over and over again. Okay, so let's talk about success for a bit here. Now, success can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but essentially I'm just talking about popularity or financial success. You might not care about that. If you don't, you can just click off the video. There's nothing left after this. But if you do, spending more time on a project does in fact make it more successful, usually exponentially so, or it's like a bit of an S curve. But this is a multiplier on how good your project is on its own. So if you have a bad project and you spend a lot of time on it, it's going to be like a little bit more successful. Whereas if you have a good project that's good with very little time spent on it, and then you spend lots of time on it, usually, unless it's like a really specific type of project, it's going to be exponentially more successful and exponentially not better, but because there's more of what's good, people are going to like it more. It's going to spread through word of mouth more, and algorithms are going to make it exponentially grow. This works for social media stuff. This works for Steam, because Steam is algorithm based now. But even just word of mouth works in a very similar way. So if your base isn't good, if you don't have a good idea or you can't execute on it well, then spending more time on it is not a good idea because you're just going to make it slightly more successful. And if you want a good base, the best way to do that is to experiment with vertical slices and make sure that when you start a big project, you have a vertical slice version of it that has proven to be successful. Otherwise, you're basically just gambling with your time. All right, that's it.